Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a mediocre player playing against the storm. So, I love this game. That's the first thing that I want to get out of the way. I think it's one of the best colony builders out there. It combines elements of many games like Settlers, where you have where you idly observe how your colony builds and how the workers cooperate. But you also have elements of roguelike, where you can have the most advanced buildings in the very beginning. You don't have to research them, but at the same time, they're not going to be giving you much benefit in the beginning. And you have also a lot of elements of puzzle building, planning, strategizing, um, deciding not to have some kind of resource throughout your gameplay because you have another resource that can replace it instead. So a lot of thinking involved, a lot of strategizing involved, not a lot of micromanagement necessary. Maybe a little bit of micromanagement of setting the correct people to the correct buildings, but that's micromanagement that I can live with. And as I stated in the beginning, I consider myself a mediocre player. I'm not very good at it, but I'm not hopeless. I've played in the past, but honestly, I forgot most of the things that I've learned in the past. So now I'm kind of relearning, and I want to have a series about this game where I'm gonna try to reach the maximum prestige level. If you don't know what prestige is, we are gonna get to it. So this is the first video in the series, so I'm gonna take you through learning curve a little bit, and we're gonna go from there. It's not a new game, maybe you know it already. Bear with me, I guess. I'm gonna try to keep the introductions short. All right, so let's play. As I said, I've played before. I was quite successful in the past, but then because I'm a responsible adult and I have kids and a full-time job, I couldn't play for a while. So now I'm relearning the game, and as you can see, last time I started playing, my first um, my first attempt was not successful. I lost a lot of villagers, and it wasn't fun, so I interrupted it. But then I played another game on the lower prestige level, so lower difficulty, and it went well. So I would like to continue this journey, and I would like to continue it with you, my dear audience. Um, I'm going somewhere. So the way it works, right? There is this smoldering city. It's kind of the main base, and our run starts from smoldering city. We are setting out our first settlement some way away from the city, and we are building it up to a full-blown city, and we are trying to make it successful. And if we are successful, then we finish that mission and we start a new mission again some way away from it. We have a limited time per run. So here is the timeline for run, and you can see that our second settlement was successful, but it cost us some time to develop it. So the game incentivizes you to be fast and to be efficient. I wasn't very efficient. Um, and what you need to do by the end of this run is to reach one of these seals. This is like a boss battle. It's going to be difficult to get there. It's going to be difficult to win the last mission that is near the seal, because the seal puts difficult challenges in front of your settlement. Well, they are a challenge to solve. So I let's set the expectations. I'm probably not gonna win this particular run. I'm gonna screw up either on the way there or during the seal, because I haven't played for a couple of months. At the same time, I'm sure I'm gonna have fun, and I hope you will have fun watching me play too. Right, so the next thing that we need to do is to select the place for the next settlement. And I'm gonna be working my way in that direction, roughly. This looks nice, and now we have to make some choices. So the first choice to make is the difficulty. As you can see, my previous settlement was on difficulty 1, and it means we need more. We have more difficult orders. Storm lasts longer. That's a huge impact thing. Blight root appears. Okay, that's actually not so bad. If you can prepare, it's gonna be fine. Blueprint rerolls cost more. I never reroll. I try to not reroll. I think the game gives you enough choices to come by without rerolls, so I'm not very scared about that one. Villagers leave faster. That's a nuisance. You're gonna see during the game. I'm gonna explain it a little bit. But basically you need to keep your villagers happy, otherwise they're gonna leave. And when they are unhappy, before they leave, they are losing resolve for a limited amount of time. I don't know, it's like 30 seconds probably. And that gives me time to manipulate and improve their resolve short term, so they stay for a little bit longer, and I can make one group of settlements unhappy for a short period of time while making another group happy, and balancing that keeps them in the village, hopefully until the crisis passes. Having resolve, lower resolve, and people leaving faster, it is a nuisance. It's way harder. But then let me click here so it's visible. There is an improvement. So buildings cost more. That's definitely difficult. Seal fragments. So we need to gather enough fragments to be able to open the seal that we are reaching by the end of the run, by the end of the cycle. Selecting higher difficulty means we are going to have more seals, means we will be able to open it. Let's zoom out for a second and see how many seals do I need? 60. And I have 15 now. So you can see I'm gonna play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 settlements. If I'm lucky, 6 settlements to get to 60. I need still 45. 45 divided by 6. Doing math on videos is difficult. I should have 8 seals per run to be successful and to close that seal or open that seal, whatever you do with it in the end. I need to gather my seals with higher rate than I'm planning currently. That's not good. So let me click at it again. I'm gonna move in that general direction. Right. So 6 seals is not enough. To be able to move fast enough, I would need to have 8 seals and play on Prestige 16. I'm not able to do that right now. I tried it yesterday. I'm just not good enough. I need to learn. So I would rather go with a slower pace, with a chance that I'm not gonna get there, but you know, have a chance to succeed, basically. Right. So that's one thing. I'm taking Prestige 6 Buildings cost more, there are other impacts, let's try and survive with them. And by the way, just to show you, I have reached Prestige 17. So when I'm saying I was better at this game, I hope I'm not uh, coming over as bragging with nothing behind it. All right, my ego is now satisfied. I've explained to you that I'm not that bad, and I feel a little bit better now about myself. Let's move on to what we are selecting next. So I always like to select the caravan that has the most people in them. People meaning all kinds of people, not just humans. Um, so we can either have 7 lizards, or we can have 5 harpies plus 2 beavers, or we can have but harpies and beavers come with 2 additional villagers, of whom we have no idea, or we can have 6 humans. I think this is the most. This is 9 people out of the gate. That's important. This is the base goods. We are going to use them to build our base buildings. And we are bringing some more stuff with us. That's helpful. I don't usually pay attention to these things. Whatever the starting conditions are, I'm sure we're gonna make do. Now, we also have some embarkation bonuses. This is something that I have 10 points to use, and you can see that I'm getting 7 from upgrades. I've played this game a lot, I've gathered XP, and I've upgraded my main city, the smoldering city. So this gives me ability to take more stuff with me. And what I always take is villagers, because they are the most important resource in my opinion. And then what else do I take? We can take an herb garden. Let me see the conditions. So in the place that we've chosen, the gathering speed is great. Okay. Giant organisms. Giant resource nodes. Okay, so more gathering. And yeah, that's something that I took. That was an event on the world map that I took to have a little bit more seals by the end of it. By cutting trees, we are going to get some mushrooms, and we are going to get leather. So we have mushroomy, leathery trees in this area. This is going to be helpful. And those seem to be resources that we can find and gather. So generally, there are 2 main possibilities to gather food in this game. One is growing your own food. For that you need fertile ground, you need fields. And the other one is gathering. And gathering is great because it's fast. You don't have to spend a year planting and then gathering the plants as you do with plantations and fields. But the resources that you gather are finite, so you will run out of them now and again. Apparently, in this biome, gathering is preferred. This will inform my decision whether I need to take a herbalist camp, for example, or foragers camp, or a small farm. I'm not taking a farm. We're going to concentrate on gathering stuff. And when concentrating on gathering stuff, it seems that we will be gathering eggs and meat primarily, which will be done through Trapper's Camp. So I'm taking this one. I'm quite happy with this informed decision. Now, what is this? 3 additional corner stores. Reroll charges. I don't want to reroll. I think I'm gonna be fine without rerolling. We can get some planks right away that will help us build our first buildings faster. Yeah, maybe that's worth it. I'm not sure. And then stone. Stone is also very useful in the beginning. Do we have stone? We have stone. We will have stone. We will find stone. That's gonna be fine. Yeah, what else to take? We can take food. Just in case. A lot of food. To be able to survive the first... Oh, that's not good. Okay. Okay, that's it. So, we're taking food, we're taking some villagers, we are making sure that we have good trappers camp. By the way, we have access to small trappers camp by default, but it's not so good. It's not so fast, and it cannot gather big and giant resource nodes. And we are gonna have some giant resource nodes, so I'm happy with the choice here. All right, time to start. Let's begin. So these are all effects that are represented by the prestige or are representing prestige levels. You know, we have storm lasting longer, and we have blight coming every 3 rounds. But these are unique, and we didn't know what is going to come up here. So okay, so impatience grows faster unless I can pay the crown with amber, with basically money. That means we need to make sure that in the beginning of each storm we are bringing our what's the name of this 4? It's like level of hostility of the forest down to 3, so it doesn't apply. Food production is slower for each hostility level during the storm. Well, it is what it is. I don't think that's horrible. Health resistance is decreased. No worries about that. We're gonna fight blight, so we are not gonna die due to this. And oh, working in mines. I'm not sure I'm gonna have mines in this one. I'm actually not sure. So if we don't have mines, this will have absolutely no impact. And there's also, as always, -4 to global resolve. Resolve is the happiness of the people. That is impactful, but we cannot do anything about it. We just need to play well and make our people happy. Oh, cool! We're gonna get free food for each discovered glade during drizzle. So we need to make sure to discover glades during drizzle period of the year. Okay, great. Look, if you don't understand all the words I'm saying yet, it's fine. You don't know the game yet. I'm gonna be explaining it to you as I'm playing, and then hopefully things are gonna get more and more understandable in the future. But for now, I think this is a good start. So what do we have? We have eggs. This is great. This plays into my choice of having a foragers or hunters, trappers camp. We have some stone. Great. We didn't take stone with us in the caravan. Good. We have some. That's enough. That's a good start. We can begin, no matter what we choose as our new buildings that we can build, we definitely need to start with woodcutters camps. Okay, I've changed. I've changed the key binding, and I hope it will work still. I've set a key binding for the path to R, but that's also the button to rotate buildings, and now I cannot rotate. Now with that fixed, I should be able to create a woodcutter's camp. Actually, I need 2 woodcutter's camps. And I also need a stonecutter's camp. So those are basic. Those will create resources for us that we will need to build everything else. Now, let's compare our first choices. And this is I'm gonna take some time to choose here, because this sets this is a one-way door decision, basically. So there are one-way door and two-way door decisions, and two-way door decision is something that you can revert sometime later, so you shouldn't spend a lot of time thinking about whether to do it in one or the other manner, because you will be able to revert it fast if you made the wrong choice. But this is not easily revertible. It is important to make the right choice here, and I think I know what I want to do. I want to go for leather worker, and the reason is the trees are leathery, if you remember, in this biome. So we are going to be gathering leather, and from the leather with meat, and we will gather meat at some point, or with leather and oil, we will be able to build water skins. And water skins are amazing because we can store some food in there, we can store wine in there, we will need those. Also, it gives us an opportunity to build, to make fabric more efficiently. And for pigment, I don't have a use yet, but it's also an important resource that we will use in some advanced buildings later on. I think it's great. I think it's exactly for us here. Other buildings are not bad as well, and we will need some planks, and having planks with 3 stars is amazing, but I think water skins win in this case. Oh, there we are. We have a workshop. I love workshops. So there is a version of a free available building, minor workshop, or cheap workshop, I don't remember how it's called, and it creates all the same resources but way less efficiently. This is good, but this is good too. You remember that we need oil, and we would be able to create oil out of some things with this one, and thus have the leather skins built. And flour is so important too. This one is difficult. I'm going for the basics. I'm going for... This also produces codes. I need codes too. What do you think? Planks or workshop? Yeah, I think we're going for Druid's hut, because we can start making codes quite early, and that's gonna be very helpful. Okay, and now the third one. Yes, with meat and steady supply of leather and eggs, we're gonna make it easy for us to build the codes, and I think this is it. Is it though? Sorry, I need to think. There are no herbs and no berries around. There are some mushrooms around, but we are gathering mushrooms from the trees already, so this is no need for this. This needs fields. We don't have access to fields right now, and we are not going to gain access to fields anytime soon, because the next field is in a dangerous glade. Maybe later, but right now, no. We can make some coal here, but having coal with 1 star is not very impressive. That's not very good. Yeah, I think ranch wins. Okay, so here we are, and while we are building all those buildings now, let's run the game. Let's build some roasts too. Let's assign some woodcutters right away. It's important. So the wood is the most available resource, as you can see, but also it's the most important one. It's like the basics. But we cannot build a lot from just logs. We need to have a workstation. We have a crude workstation, that's how it's called, with which we are going to create our first planks and fabric and bricks. By the way, let's not make fabric here, it's inefficient. Let's make fabric in a specialized building for it. Right, so we have that already. We need some housing for the people, for them to be happy. Yeah, so that's the next step, the housing. This is another one-way door decision. Cornerstones. Cornerstones are basically passives that we can build, can take to improve our settlement in various ways. Farmers have 75% chance of producing double yields. For biscuits, we are nowhere close to biscuits. We have no ways of producing flour yet. No, nowhere close. 20 reeds, 20 clay for every discovered glade. That seems promising. Producing more porridge. Oh, more global resolve by abandoned caches. That sounds nice. But increased porridge production for every drizzle water produced. It's also interesting. But I'm not finding anything here that would help me immediately, so I'm gonna reroll. I'm not producing grain. Okay. A villager every time I discover a new glade. This is good. I think I'm gonna take this one. We will eventually start exploring, and having more villages is just helpful. And here we are selecting missions. We don't have much choice, so this is easy. We just need to build some kind of rainwater extractor or rainwater collector, and we will eventually fulfill this without having any troubles. But this is nice. We already have all the buildings necessary to start having clothing, and we have some clothing with us, by the way, and this will give us even more coats production. I mean, this is just amazing. This is specifically for us. That's great. We don't have no means of producing that. 3 glade events. within 17 minutes. Just too risky, I'm not gonna take it. What for? For Weaver, not good enough. This is tempting, but not. And then keep humans resolve over 25 for 30 seconds. I think it's doable. The benefits are not so big, but you know, Queen's Grace. A solved quest is a solved quest. So I would rather go for simple, for easy, than for good rewards. And here, have a trapper's camp and deliver 40 meat. Again, this is something basically made for us. We already have a trapper's camp. We're gonna set it up right away. We will have a ranch which will allow us to deliver meat quickly. Actually, we can also almost fulfill it immediately. And we will have more meat production and more villagers. It's just amazing. This is for us. Let's do that. So, the next step for us is... Let's pause for a second here. The next step for us is to disallow usage of clothing. So the way it works in this game, let me show you. The way it works in this game, the buildings have workers. The workers go and work in those buildings. These are the woodcutters, so they will go and cut wood. And after they do it for some time, they get hungry. When they get hungry, they are going to the hearth, and they eat there. When they eat, they also fulfill all other requirements that they have. They need some services like education and whatnot. They have a lot of like they want to have treatment, medical treatment, education, luxury, religion, and leisure. And there are more. They're like training, stuff like that. They are all fulfilled at the hearth. So they are spending some time drinking coffee and eating in there. And that's when they also will take clothing and put it on them. And when they go back to work, they maintain the happiness that they've gathered during the pause. But it's a one-off thing, right? When they go for refreshment next time, all those services and resources need still to be there to provide happiness again. So the clothing gets used up. And I don't want the clothing to get used up at the moment, because we are going to need it when the first storm strikes, when the crisis strikes. Alright, so we've done that, we've done this. Next step for us is... I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I think we need to start with this quest. Let me quickly also forbid eating meat. They shouldn't do that, they have other things to eat. And in the meantime, we are gonna build the trapper's camp. And the trappers will gather all those eggs. Let's have a person here to start producing resources we need. This is amazing. And let's get a person to start gathering the stone. And when they gather the stone, they also have a chance to gather some other resources, so we are all happy. Same with eggs and leather. Apparently those are very leathery eggs. Oh, and not to forget, we need shelters for our citizens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we are. Actually, let me scooch them over a little bit, because I want to build a road here. Wait, 5. I don't think we need 5. Well, eventually we will need 5. Never mind. Let them build 5. A little bit lost opportunity cost, but it's okay. As you can see, all the free workers that are not working in any buildings, they are considered builders. And that's very convenient. I don't have to assign any builders explicitly. It's enough to just have them working like that. Now let's assign 2, because we need those eggs to eat, and we can fulfill this task already, and that gives us enough reputation to choose another building. Small farm, don't want to do it. Workshop, again, this is good. But flour gives us access to creating more foods, more better foods, and we are already gathering mushrooms, which we can turn to flour eventually. So I think this is good. I do miss an ability to efficiently create planks and bricks, but I think the enablement of flour is just way more important. So I'm gonna pick this one. Alright, and this is where I'm gonna make a cut on the video. I hope you are as happy with this start as I am, because I think we are making good progress and we are setting ourselves up for success, and we've already even executed one of the tasks. So step by step, we're gonna get there. If you think this video could be better in any way, if you have some suggestions either to my gameplay or generally to how I produce the videos and what I talk about, please let me know in the comments. Please like, please subscribe if you want to see more of this in the future, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye bye.